Today on Family Matters. Just kidding. Who remembers Urkel? But yeah, so today with the Sig Sauer XMACRO P365 comp, not in that order. We have the 3 pros, 3 cons listed, and then also my objective opinion on the firearm, as well as whether or not I hit the 30-yard target on the first shot from inside the waistband. And then also, it is a shorter video. Whew, man, yay. It's definitely shorter. It's still about 20 or so minutes, not including this intro. So I did try to shorten it and get right to the point. So yeah, enjoy the review. Let me know if you agree or don't agree. And I really enjoyed this pistol. Let me know if you did too. Okay, toodles. No outro.
This video is intended for educational and informational purposes only. All firearm handling showing is performed by trained individuals in a controlled environment. Always follow the 4 rules of gun safety. Number 1, treat your firearm as if it is loaded. Number 2, never point a firearm at anything you do not intend to destroy. Number 3, keep your finger off the trigger until you are ready to shoot. Number 4, be sure of your target and what is beyond it. Comply with all local, state, and federal laws regarding firearms. Do not attempt to replicate any action seen in this video without proper training and safety measures. The creators assume no liability for misuse or unsafe practices.
Welcome back, you, to the pew, here for a 1,000-round review of the Sig Sauer XMACRO, Sig Sauer P365 XMACRO comp. I did 1,000 rounds through this, and we're going to do my review here on the range. I'll probably shoot maybe 5 to 10 to give my thoughts on one of the pros and or cons of the firearm. But first and foremost, thank you for being here. I appreciate you. I'm going to try and condense this one because I know the last couple reviews have been super long. So I'm going to go through the points. I'm not going to go through the company. I'm not going to go through the controversy or any of that stuff because none of that mattered during my 1,000-round review, and it shouldn't matter during the review series when I was shooting, and it shouldn't matter for the actual review that I'm doing now. So it won't come into play. I'm not going to mention that stuff. And my philosophies and everything that I've been sharing have been valid and warranted, but I got that out of the way, so I'm not going to get into it. I might touch base on it, but very briefly. So let's get into the Sig Sauer P365 XMACRO comp right away. Con number 1, texture. So the texture with the Canic Meta-MC9 Prime, it comes all the way up almost to the slide, and here it's missing on the side where your thumb and your index finger kind of lay. Also, my framing is going to be correct this time. I noticed it was off with a couple of videos. And then also the texture for where the gas pedal would normally be, and then also on the side, which really doesn't matter because you're not shooting. Your finger's not going to be here while you're shooting. It's going to be on the trigger, obviously. But here, where the gas pedal would be, there's no texture, which would have been nice, like on the Canic and on the Palmetto State Armory. They have a little ledge where you can rest your thumb. Also on the trigger guard, underneath and on the front, it's just smooth, and it's fine. It's okay. The shooting experience is great, but it would be much better. I know we can do this on our own using like a hot iron or other devices. I forget the Dremel maybe that they used for Glocks, and they Dremel out some texturing. So we can do that, but it doesn't come from the factory like it does with other firearms. So that is the first con for me. I wish they had that coming from the factory, from Sig, with the texturing so that you can grip much better. Doesn't take away from it necessarily, but right away as I held on to it, I noticed it. Excuse me. Second con is the price. Now, I paid $875 for this at a gun shop, and I think the Shadow Systems, which is another slimline, high capacity 9mm EDC carry was another 800. So 875 is kind of the top tier. The Canic was 650 to 700 Beta MC9 Prime. It's the same class. And then the Hellcat Pro, which I just got, it's coming in. That one, I paid a little bit more for that because it was the, the Gear Up package where it comes with a case, a soft case, and then I think 3 or 4 magazines, 10-round magazines. And that one was 800 something. So, but I don't count that because we're just talking about the base model that you're getting of the class that you're going to be in. Hellcat is going to be run you about 750. Let's say let's just say 700 to 750 for a Hellcat Pro OSP. Sorry, Hellcat Pro Comp OSP. And that one comes with a 15 and a 17 round. This one comes with 2 17s, although I bought the 10 rounds. So that's a moot point. But the price now, this is the highest out of all of them, which I don't know. I think it does shoot out the best out of all of them. I'll have to see when I shoot the Hellcat. But that right now, for what it is, the price, $875. That's a little steep. So that's the second con of the Sig. Now the third is almost tough because this is another great firearm. It shot wonderfully. It had a lot of great things about it, and the negatives were minimal. But I will say the last negative that I have for it, which is a nitpick, and it's just something that I noticed right away, is empty magazine is inserted. It's tough. I'm pushing as hard as I can. I know you can't tell, but I could do it with my left hand because I think you have to bring the slide stop out and down, but it's weird. So yeah, that's a lot easier. But then with your right hand, I've got it before. It's easier when you pull back and then you could press down and it goes forward. Now without a magazine inserted, slide stop up, simple, 100% easy as it should be. And also as you bring it back and then forward, it's just simple. Now with a round inserted, this is Herter's 115 grain. Let's do the simple. It's super easy. I think there's a mechanism inside of the slide stop where the magazine is inserted that it hangs up if there's no round inserted or in there with the magazine. So I'm gonna load it up really quick. Just load 5. So that to me is, it's a little nitpick, but I noticed it was kind of a negative. You know, I had a magazine, empty magazine inserted at the gun shop, and I was like, what's going on? Why can't I do this? So that's the last con, because again, with the Canic, I couldn't find too much with it that was a con. It was amazing. Shooting it initially was awesome, and then the last like 400 or 500 rounds, I was terrible. I don't know. It was me. It was the grip. It was all me, because this gun shoots wonderfully. So let's go to the pros. The pros, first pro is everything. I'm just kidding. Not everything, but the overall shooting experience, which I'll break that down into 3 parts, because that they all deserve an individual category for the pros. First pro, the grip, the gun position, the grip, all of the grip itself as you're shooting, from the way that your hand holds onto the gun, from your support hand controlling the gun, and as it recoils, you know, just coming back to zero. It was so easy to shoot. And then also sight picture was really easy to get because of that grip. I need to put this, I'm using the Incog from Safariland, Incog X. The whole shooting experience was one that I'll never forget. you know, it's not going to be the perfect shooting experience, but it was great. So, and also the concealment is, you can't even see it. It's so great. But sight picture was right there. I mean, I am zeroed right away. And as I grip the pistol and bring it up and out, it's so confident, and you're wrapped in. You don't have to readjust anywhere because it's set as you bring it up and out. Now my finger didn't get inside, and that it happens with the reflex as well. But oh my gosh, that to me is very, it's crucial in a EDC sort of situation where you want your firearm to have that characteristic where as you bring it up and out, bam, it's ready to go. That's so good. So grip. The grip on this Sig 365 XMACRO comp is superb. That's the first pro. Second pro, I almost did three, is the trigger. Second pro is the trigger. So that overall shooting experience, the trigger is another great part of that. This trigger, being flat-faced, I think that's probably part of the XMACRO line. Correct me if I'm wrong. It's not a three-tier like the Canic where it's open, wall, break. This is open, wall, minimal squish right there, minimal break. Reset is close by. I'm at the wall. That was that squish. So there's like 1.5 points of squish. I don't know what else you call it. That's squish right there. That's another one. Yeah, so depending on how you're pulling the trigger, could be 1.5 to 2 little points of forgiveness, let's call it. I've mentioned that in the forgiveness would be there's no play in between the wall and break. Let's just say that for in my definition. So forgiveness is any space within that the wall and the break that you have, like the Glock has, the Shadow Systems CR920XP, Palmetto State Armory has that. A lot of guns have that forgiveness in between. And for an EDC, like I mentioned with the Canic, I want that. I want that because at the same time, I can shoot this fast. This goes fast when I need it to go fast, and it's confident when I'm shooting it. Like the trigger pull is, I didn't bring my tool. Anyway, so the trigger is a great, it serves a great purpose for the purpose. It serves a great purpose for the role of this firearm being an EDC. And then the last shooting experience is the recoil. Pro number 3, the recoil return to 0, sight picture. I have it punched out to 30 yards today. That's 12 and 30. The recoil is outstanding, and that's probably because of the comp, integrated comp in the slide. And it's a comp because it stops at the barrel. So I'm going to shoot 5 at 30 just to test it. I'm not going to shoot fast. I'm just going to get the feel of it and describe my take and why this was such a wonderful firearm to shoot for me. Oh, like that's insane. That's insane. And that was the right shoulder, right past. It was on the clavicle. That was on the far left. I missed. That was the neck. Minimal, I mean just minimal recoil. Outstanding. And look at that, accurate. 30 yards. 30 yards, and I haven't warmed up or done any shooting today. That's off the rip, you know. So yeah, that one on my far left, its far right was off, but first shot, boom, right there. That's 30 yards. Okay, that's all I'll say. Pro number 3 is the recoil, return to zero, sight picture, all of that together, the shooting, actual shooting experience of the firearm. Hang on. That to me, right, that's reliability too is a big factor, and I didn't even put that in because it was 1,000 rounds. It shot well. It didn't have any hangups. I don't think, again, I mentioned before, the standard that we keep for these firearms shouldn't be lowered because now this is the norm, right? Oh, it's got a break-in period. I can't get over that. The mini rant, right? Mini rant about the standard for, well, it's reliable. Man, a gun should be reliable. An EDC should be reliable. You should depend on it. The AK, I give an example. And the AK goes for days, months, years, decades, forever. Where maybe an AR, and don't kill me for this. Don't come after me with your pitchforks and everything. But an AK, for the price, for the parts, for the simplicity, that thing, man, that thing runs. It is a Glock of the rifle world. AR, I'm sure there's a lot of guys in the military and everything that would be like, you know, Pew, you're a dummy. It is the AR, leaps and bounds. It's the AR, but when you're talking about the reliability overall, and I don't want to say accuracy because yeah, sure, AR might be more accurate. I'm getting off on a tangent, but I'm making a point of these guns should be reliable. And when you have a Glock, when you have an AK, those have stood the test of time, and that is the standard, or should be the standard for all manufacturers to obtain or attain at some point, or in the lifespan of the establishment of the manufacturer, should be something that they shoot for. No pun intended. So I didn't really get to test that reliability with this firearm, and if I was going to note reliability, it wouldn't be a Pro, even though I did that for the Canic, because that was the only thing I could, other than the shooting experience, I couldn't break it up. I couldn't think of another one for the Canic. I will no longer have, see, I'm changing things as I go along, so I'll no longer have reliability as a Pro, only as a con. If the firearm doesn't go through the rounds of 1,000 that I shoot through, has a hang up, despite, if it's factory ammunition, of course. If it's reloads, then we could anticipate that. It's all circumstantial. I'm not going to go into it too far because I don't want to make this video long, but I don't want to have reliability be anything but a negative if it's going to be something. So no longer will I have reliability be a Pro. It will always be a con if it is going to be a con. So those are the cons, those are the pros. Now, my opinion, carry this thing for new shooters. I would say, yeah, this thing could be a new shooter gun. Again, maybe not to start with, even though it is a smaller form factor. The recoil is manageable. It's high capacity potentially. Magazine. I think you should still start on a Glock, even though it's like based on a Glock platform. You could run it in tandem with a Glock, with a revolver, and say, hey, this is a smaller form factor, and it's not gonna scare the person who's first starting out to familiarize themselves with firearms. So I'd shoot it with a revolver, a 38 Special. I'd shoot it with a Glock 19, and I put those all together as one because it is very approachable. It shoots super well. It's very accurate. 30 yards off the cuff, you know, it's just, it is a shooter's gun too. I think that I would like to see someone compete with this as well. Maybe go against that Canic Meta MC9 Prime and do well against it. Sig hit it out of the park with this one, I think, being the second Sig that I've ever shot. The first one was the 226 DAK, P226 DAK, which is my service pistol, which is a great pistol. I can say, yeah, I vouch for this firearm. Sig did a great job. I look forward to getting the Sig Sauer Sig Sauer P365. I think it's XMACRO DH3. I forget the one that just came out from SHOT Show. I want that one. That has the metal frame, steel frame. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you think. I'm going to cut it here. That's all I'm going to say about the Sig. The Sig just did super well. It doesn't need any other glitter, glam, gold thrown on it. It doesn't need anything taken away from it. It did the job. It did it very well. I was very impressed. I'm super happy I got it. It was worth the money, even though that's kind of the con I put in there. It was worth it. And if you're in the market for it, I'd say give it a shot. Give it a shot, and check out the Hellcat also if you have that opportunity, because then you could decide which one's going to be for you, given the price. Let me know what you think. Let me know in the comments what you think about your 365 XMACRO comp, if you do have one, or if you heard stuff and you shot one before, your impressions, what you think about my pros and cons list. Thank you so much for being here. Pick up your brass. That ejection pattern is way over there. Wash your ass. Leave me a like and say hi to your mom for me. No outro for this. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Well, we'll see you at the next review or review series.